Hello friends, welcome back. Today we are redoing what is arguably the worst house in The Sims 2, the Bon Voyage Mansion, or BV Mansion as it is called in the Lots and Houses bin. I did my best. It was very difficult. I also took several breaks. There were other things going on in my real life, such as eating dinner and whatever else I was doing that caused me to have to step away, pause recording, and come back and continue. So to be honest with you guys, I don't really know what we did here. I do know that we could have helped ourselves a lot by shrinking the size of the structure significantly, which we didn't really do. We shrank the upstairs by a ton, but the downstairs is still there. Thinking about it now, we probably could have just gotten rid of the upstairs entirely and had everything be on the downstairs. I think that that would have been a lot better. It would have made a lot more sense. I think that we're going to come back to this at some point and redo it again. Is this also your least favorite house in the game? Because like I've seen so many people talking about this in the community and everyone hates it. Like I think it literally is community voted as the least favorite house, like the worst house in this entire game. Do you think differently? And if so, what is the worst house in your opinion in this entire game? It could be either from the Lots and Houses bin or it could be in any of the neighborhoods that we have. I only play in Pleasant View and I've only been building in Pont-Aven. I placed this house down in Pont-Aven. That is where we are building. I'm thinking though, in the future, we may come back, like I said, redo it, shrink it a bit, potentially also put it on a smaller lot or shrink the lot size with lot adjuster, which means I'm going to have to read through the documentation for that and figure out how to do it because I only did that once and it scares me and I can't remember. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. When this video comes out, we will be 1 week away from Christmas Eve, which is very exciting, and smack dab in the middle of Hanukkah, which is also very exciting. I did make the jelly donuts for Hanukkah. If you guys are interested, I talked about that in a recent Sims 3 build. I will link that video down in the description and up in the cards. I believe it was when I did either the Civic Center or the house in Prato di Livori. Can't remember. We'll figure it out though. I honestly am not feeling the holiday spirit, and I don't know if it's because I'm single for the first time in 6 years during the holidays, or if it's because I have to travel for the holidays, which has been something I have been doing for about the past 6 years. Prior, I did not have to do that because my whole family lived within 20 minutes of each other, and now we don't, but we're going to be fixing that soon, hopefully. Yesterday, I went to Costco, which is hilarious. I don't really go to Costco. My ex, you know, the man that I was with for the last 6 years who I thought I was going to marry, is the Costco king. Not that it matters because he lives a couple hundred miles away from me, but I think it's funny. As I was there, I walked around the whole store and asked a couple of people if they had chocolate babka. Nobody knew what I was talking about. I saw a video from the Deals guy on YouTube. If you guys follow him, he did a Costco thing recently for December of 2025, and one of the things he highlighted was the chocolate babka. It comes in like a 2-pack, and I didn't know where to find it. We looked throughout the whole bakery section. We looked in the holiday section. I figured it would have been in the bakery. Asked a couple of people. They didn't know what I was talking about. And I'm like, am I living in an alternate universe, or do people just not know what babka is? I think it's the latter. Not that like people who are not Jewish don't know what babka is. I mean, I just found out earlier this year I'm ethnically Jewish. I don't know what I'm doing. And I know that that's not the same as being Jewish religiously or culturally. But anyway, I tried the Trader Joe's babka. Loved that. And I love that it's year-round, the chocolate one. I don't know if they have others. I also tried babka from a grocery store chain that is here. And while that was fine, it dried out very quickly. Like I had that less than I had the Trader Joe's one in terms of like the time span, and it dried out so quick. I don't know why, because it was stored the same way as the Trader Joe's one. So I guess I have to go back to Trader Joe's and get some more of the chocolate babka. What I did get at Costco, not this trip, but like one of the more recent ones, were these cauliflower latkes, which I think were pretty good. I know that it's not like the same as a potato latke, and I haven't had potato latkes in literal years. gross. But the cauliflower ones, they were so good. We had some with dinner one night, and then there were some that were left over that had been, from dinner the night before. I had them for breakfast the next day. The only issue is that we didn't have any applesauce or sour cream to have them with, and I'm not really an applesauce girly, so I don't really care about the applesauce thing, but the sour cream, I'm lactose intolerant, and it's kind of hard to find non-dairy sour cream. Lactate, I think, does make lactose-free sour cream, but again, it's not easy to find. I think it has to do with where I am or what is distributed to the grocery stores here. So they were dry because there was nothing to have with them. We also got snow where I am very recently. It was very cold. We got a couple of inches of snow, and because I am so south in the United States, well, not really, I'm in Southern Virginia. It feels like I'm more south than that. It melted the next day, but I loved it. It was beautiful. The dog loved it. You guys know my dog Fawn. She's 12 and a half years old, Labrador Retriever. She loved it. It was beautiful. I wished for snow and I got it. And then for my next trick, I wished for a man to fall into my life and choose me. The jury is still out on that one. I don't know where that is in the queue of wishes to be granted, but it's not happening anytime soon. Update on the situationship that I was in, though. There isn't one because we were not on speaking terms for quite a bit. Then we had a committee meeting, received a text message from situationship immediately after the meeting being are we cool or no? I said I didn't want there to be any tension and that I was also still hurting a little bit and whatever else I had said, but essentially that I didn't want there to be any tension. He said the same, that he also did not want to have any tension, and yet we're still not really talking because when I would reach out to him, I felt like I was being ghosted. And he said, oh, I could tell you I'm busy, but in the end it doesn't really matter, because he wanted to still be friends and I was trying to put in effort to still be friends and was not receiving the same amount of effort, which was not great. So here we are, no more situationship. I don't even know what the friendship situation is like. He's still dating this woman that lives near him that's very likely going to be moving at some point. And it bothers me because unfortunately I fell for this man and I am not a pick-me girl, but I thought that he would have wanted to be with me because he said he also fell for me. The issue, as usual, was the distance, and unfortunately he let that win out, and I had told him that I was holding on to the naive hope that we could be together. He said apparently he was holding on to that same naive hope and it was not just me, and then I finished it by telling him that I had been here the whole time, and he knew that I wanted to try a relationship with him or something of that nature, whatever. He knew I was willing to whatever, and he did not. It also would have required logistics. One of us would have had to move for the other, which was the same issue that I had with my ex, who moved from Hawaii to the East Coast, but that was for his job and not for me. The thing with California Boy is that I am unable to up and move to California, and I quite frankly would not want to up and move to California for anyone, which, yes, that's a me problem. You can call me hypocritical, I don't care. He said he would move to Boston, so now this is where we are. I am still single. It's same old general holiday shenanigans where we are. I put up my cute little Christmas trees. I have one behind me where I film for my main channel because that's Facecam channel, and a smaller one on the little electric fireplace that I have that is entirely dedicated to Yellow Labs. I call it my fawn tree. It's like a shrine to her. She doesn't care because she's a dog. The bigger one that's behind me is it's white and it looks kind of iridescent. It's really cute, and there are just some white and silver and blue ornaments on it. I also have string lights on my fireplace, but they all died, and I ordered new ones, a replacement set from Amazon, the same thing that I had bought. It was supposed to be here yesterday. At this point, it is delayed in transit. It's in my city, but for some reason it has not been marked as out for delivery. Allegedly, it's supposed to arrive today when I'm recording this on the 13th, but it's not going to. I can just tell. That's enough of me rambling, though. I've talked about so many things that are not the house in this game. Like I said, eventually I think we're going to circle back around to this and redo it again because I'm not thrilled. I really didn't know what to do here, and I tried my best. It's just too big of a space. I was almost thinking it would have been easier if we just bulldozed everything and started from scratch, but then that wouldn't really be fixing the house, would it? It would just be making a new thing. Before we wrap up here, though, really quick shout out to David's Tea for their annual tea advent calendar. I have been enjoying it for the most part. Most of the blends have been pretty good. Tonight's is the blueberry muffin tea blend, which I don't remember having since the last advent calendar. And I think it's pretty good. I think I remember liking it. I know it smelled like a blueberry muffin, but that's really all I remember about it. So I'm sure it's gonna be great. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave any comments, feedback, and suggestions down below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Happy Hanukkah if you're celebrating it. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa in the future. Happy holidays. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.